Good morning. Today is Thursday. I think it's the 24th. We are going to the gym. It is 6:56 a.m. We're going to the gym to do a little chest, shoulders, try situation. I did legs yesterday, and then biceps back and bi on Monday. So I'm closing my circuit. I'm doing chest and shoulders. I'm pretty tired. After we go to the gym today, I have a couple meetings, but I thought I would vlog today, like kind of what I'm doing, but mainly what I eat in a day. I care a lot about the food that I put in my body, and I am pretty regimented on what I do and don't eat, and I feel like I have different opinions about food than a lot of people do. So I'm excited to bring you along to what I eat in a day today. So let's go to the gym. Okay, I just got back from the gym. I am going to make myself some breakfast. It is 8:23. I am probably going to do some hard-boiled eggs. I have to log in to my computer at 9, and then I have my first meeting at 9:30. So I'm gonna eat a pretty quick breakfast, go upstairs, do my makeup, and then get ready for my first meeting. My first meeting is with a partner, so like customer facing, so I wanna make sure that I look presentable, but I'm gonna try and eat quickly this morning so that I have time to get ready. So in figuring out like this new job and working from home, I have had to kind of figure out like what works for me with food. When I was a teacher, I would pack like this huge lunch to make sure that I had enough food for the whole day. And a lot of the times I would like pack breakfast, pack lunch, and then also pack enough food so that I had stuff for when I bartended afterwards. So now that I don't have to do that, I have been, enjoying the fact that I don't have to pack lunch. So I have been like meal prepping less than I would have before. But what I realized is that you still have to meal prep throughout the week, even if you are working from home, because there's other things that come up and you don't want to spend your whole day just like cooking food. So all that to say, I've started hard boiling eggs again. I used to hard boil eggs, like 12.5 eggs every single week before the week started, like Sunday night before, when I was meal prepping all my other stuff. And I stopped doing that, and I was making eggs every morning since I started working from home. But I realized that making a breakfast every single morning and trying to go to the gym every single morning and trying to get ready in the morning, it was all just like too much and not enough time. So I didn't want to be like rushing around in the morning or like not making myself presentable for work. So I started hard-boiling eggs again. Anyway, I've got my hard-boiled eggs now. I worked out this morning, so I want to make sure, and I always make sure, but especially since I was lifting, I want to make sure that I'm getting plenty of protein. So I've got my 3 eggs, my 3 hard-boiled eggs, and then I like when I want like extra protein in my breakfast, I get this Dave's Killer bread, and each like slice of this bread is 6 grams of protein. So like normal bread obviously does not have that in it. So I'm gonna toast some of this. So each egg is about, I think it's 6 grams of protein. So then I have 18 grams of protein just with my eggs, 6 grams of protein for my 2 slices of bread. So 12 and 18 is 30. So I have 30 grams of protein from the eggs and the toast. And then I have my cottage cheese, and cottage cheese is high in protein as well. I know that there's like debates, I guess, on like the cottage cheese of it all. I love cottage cheese. I'm gonna indulge in some cottage cheese. Like, I know people are like, why are you eating cottage cheese? You should just have Greek yogurt. It's so much better for you and probiotics. And I agree. And there's other things that I have Greek yogurt in, but I kind of hate the taste of Greek yogurt. So I kind of try to avoid it as much as I can. But a half a cup of this cottage cheese has 12 grams of protein. So I should be getting around 40 to 45 grams of protein in my breakfast this morning. It is so important to get protein in your breakfast in the morning. I notice immediately when I don't get enough protein in my breakfast because I'm so much hungrier throughout the entire day. Today, my meetings, I have a 3-hour meeting that I won't be able to like eat during. I have a 3-hour meeting from 9:30 until noon, and then I have another meeting from 9:30 to 12:30, and then I have another meeting from 1 to 2. So I probably won't be able to eat something of substance with like meaning lunch until after 2 o'clock. So I wanted to make sure that I have a hefty breakfast right after my workout so that I'm feeling full up until 2 o'clock when I can have another meal. I have been doing cottage cheese with hot honey and red pepper flakes for so long, and I can't stop. I'm also gonna have some berries. This week I got red raspberries, and then I also have some blueberries left over, so I'm gonna kind of put them together. All right, I've got my 2 pieces of toast. I'm gonna cover them with my cottage cheese, and then I will show you what I put on them. Okay, so here is my breakfast. I've got my cottage cheese toast, my protein bread with cottage cheese, hot honey, and red pepper flakes, and then my eggs just cut up so that I can eat them a little easier with salt and pepper, my raspberries and my blueberries, and then I have my water, and I have coconut water. I have been loving coconut water lately. Please ignore this piece of flooring on my table. That is for my boyfriend's rental property, but this is my breakfast. I'm going to sit and eat, and then I will get ready for work. I'm sitting down to work. I didn't bring any food up here. I just brought my coconut water. So during my meeting, my goal is to finish my coconut water, drink some of my water. I am really bad at consuming water. So yes, that is something that I have to make myself do and talk myself through. So I am going to log on to my meeting in a couple minutes, and then after my meeting, I will probably have an overnight oats that I prepped because I have another meeting like 30 minutes after that one. I just sat in my meeting for an hour and a half and realized, I was like, I'm so tired, and I couldn't figure out why I was so tired. I didn't make myself coffee. So I'm going to make a coffee. She took a break for 5 minutes, so I'm gonna make myself a coffee. Let me show you my little coffee setup. Okay, so this is my coffee setup. I'm obsessed with this coffee maker. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's obviously Ninja brand, and I have been using just like the single serve. My boyfriend doesn't drink coffee, so when I was living with my roommate before, we used the pot of coffee, and we like preset the coffee the day before so that it would be ready for us in the morning, and it would just make itself. But anyway, you fill up this, obviously normal way to make coffee. I keep my coffee grounds in this container right next to it. The coffee beans underneath are actually decaf for when my boyfriend does want to have like the coffee flavor. So I just do like 2.5 scoops. It's probably too much. I don't know like the exact like what we're supposed to use for how much coffee, but I think it makes it like strong. So I turn it on, and then I just do my 12 ounces. I put it on rich. It's just what works. I don't know what actually is what I'm supposed to do, but then my coffee will be made. I am obsessed with the Chobani coffee creamers. I think that they are so good and so thick. They're probably so bad for you, but this is like my splurge. I like to have the vanilla flavor. I've tried like the cookie flavor and the cinnamon flavor, and I just like vanilla. I like to stick with the vanilla flavor. While I wait for my coffee, I'm just kind of gonna walk around because it is a lot to like do a workout and then come and sit in a chair for a really long time. Yesterday I did legs, and my legs are like tightening by the minute. So just gonna get my little 5-minute walk in. On weekdays when I'm just like quickly grabbing coffee from my coffee maker, I will just pour my creamer in. On the weekends when I have a little bit more time, I do like to froth it with my little handheld frother, and then it just like feels a little bit more special. I feel like I never get Starbucks anymore. I love my coffee maker so much, and like the coffee that I use is Starbucks brand, so it tastes good. I am obsessed with it, but I spend so much less money on coffee now, especially with the setting. When I was living with my roommate, we would set it up to make it itself in like time to the next morning, and we just would always do that, and I would never feel the need to go get a coffee in the morning. It was the best. Okay, I'm back in my kitchen. It is now 2:19. I have finished all my meetings for today. I also changed because I didn't really want to be in nice clothes anymore, and I kind of want to sit outside, and it's pretty hot, so I don't want to sweat. So I'm gonna get my lunch. Since before working from home, I was always someone who always meal prepped. I just feel like when you don't meal prep, or when you don't like decide what is going to be eaten throughout the week, you run into the problem of like decision fatigue throughout the week, and then I end up like not eating or eating not the best foods. So I have always meal prepped. When I first started working from home, again, I thought I could get away with like not meal prepping because I was home and like I could just throw something together real quick, but actually I can't do that because sometimes I still need like to quickly eat lunch. I mean, most of the times I just need to like quickly eat lunch. So I've been meal prepping for my boyfriend and like give him 5 meals during the week or 4 meals during the week, and then also prepping extras for myself. Sometimes that looks like just making extra like protein for myself, and then other times it looks like making both. But all that to say, this week I have meal prepped taco bowls. So I have my taco meat here, and then I also have just like the microwave rice. So I'm going to heat up my ground beef. I just like took 3 packs of the organic ground beef at the beginning of the week. And I cooked all of that and like added taco seasoning or whatever for the whole week. And then I just, for my use, I just use these like microwave ones. These probably aren't the most healthy choice, but they're so convenient. Maybe when I'm not feeling lazy, I would use the regular rice. Today is Thursday, and I find that by Thursday, I'm starting to like run out of my foods that I like to eat, and like I go grocery shopping on Sundays, and I swear we go through food so fast. We both have like high protein intake, and I just feel like we eat so much at the beginning of the week. Oh, I don't want that yet. Let me heat this up first. But I've been like trying to start making juices, and like at least a few juices throughout the week. It is like kind of hard to manage like prepping breakfast, prepping, because I also make overnight oats, so prepping breakfasts, prepping lunches, and then also deciding like what for dinner. Sometimes it can be a lot to manage, but when I am able to do it all, it helps during the week so much, and it definitely like assures that I get in all the food that I want to eat. I think just like knowing what you're going to eat and having like a guideline is the biggest thing, and like the groceries. I don't know, I'm big on that just because of decision fatigue. But yeah, I started wanting to make green juices or just like juices in general, but that is also kind of a long process, and I feel like vegetables like go bad so quickly. So I have to do that at the beginning of the week, and when I don't have time or I don't feel like on a Sunday, it just like doesn't happen. So I did have green juice at the beginning of this week, but I don't have any anymore. I made 4 of them, and then me and my boyfriend split them. So now that it's Thursday, we don't have any left. So here is my taco bowl. I've got rice, ground beef, lettuce, cheese, and green peppers, green bell peppers, and then hot sauce. It's funny how like things do start to dwindle by Thursday, because I did have tomatoes originally, I did have sour cream, I did have avocado, but I obviously like used up all those. So now we're like in the scraps. I don't have anything left for tomorrow. So tomorrow on Friday, I'm gonna have to come up with something for lunch, but this is what we're working with today. I'm gonna take my little lunch break, sit in my sunroom, and chill for a little bit. Ever since I stopped drinking alcohol, I have had such a bad sugar craving. So now that I have finished my lunch, I'm gonna have a few of these like candy laces that I got a couple weeks ago. I'm not gonna eat the whole bag, I swear, but I just need something sweet to curb this craving.
I spent a lot of time to get to where I'm at to be able to communicate. I don't want to feel triggered, and I definitely don't want to.
Okay, it is 7:55. I am making dinner. I'm making this tomato spinach pasta, penne pasta tonight with chicken. I just put the chicken and the pasta on the stove. I think I'm also going to put together something for my next Ninja Creamy. I recently use the Ninja Creamy for the first time, and I made like this chocolate protein ice cream. I think this time I'm gonna try and make like a strawberry banana one, and I'm gonna freeze it so that I can have it this weekend. So I'm gonna start on that, and I'll show you what I put in it. Okay, for some reason I thought I had strawberries, but I don't. So instead I'm gonna do raspberries, because that's what I have. So I have to blend everything before I put it in the little ice cream cup. I'm gonna start with 1 cup of milk and see how that goes. I'm gonna put in a whole banana. Like, this was good because this banana was going bad, so I wanted to use it. I want it to be protein ice cream, so I'm gonna add this vanilla protein. I really like this one. I'm gonna add some raspberries. And then what I'm gonna add to act as like people normally put in Jello mix, but I've got this stuff. And it worked really well with the chocolate one, so I'm just putting like a little teaspoon of that. We're gonna go with this blend.
Can you make an ice cream out of it?
Yeah.
Nice. Are you being recorded right now?
Yeah.
Aw.
Why?
What if I did something dumb?
You didn't.
It's so scary.
Dude, you're fine. Okay, so I'm gonna do them, I think, separately. But this is like really thick. Wait, it actually tastes so good. I'm excited to see how it tastes as ice cream. Okay, so I'm gonna cover these. I'm gonna freeze these. And I have one more chocolate one in the freezer right now. But I also forgot, when I looked in the freezer, I forgot that I had this other thing for dessert tonight. So I might skip out on ice cream tonight and do those instead. Those like True Foo chocolate covered strawberries. Okay, so these are nice and tight. I'm gonna put these in the freezer, and then I'm gonna see what happens in a couple days. While I'm finishing cooking, I'm gonna crack a cold one. My fave. All right, final product. Sourdough, basil. Okay, I am wrapping things up for the night. I'm gonna take off my makeup, put on PJs, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna read and have a little nightcap. I think this is blurry.